Hello and welcome to another 6th edition battle report from here at Zack Carnage HQ, I guess. We're running the same armies as before, and we've rolled for the deployment, got the same deployment as before. So these are two 1,000 point armies. We've got Tau on this side, Necrons on this side, and we're playing Purge the Alien, which is why everyone's up at the front. So let's see, 10 Fire Warriors, 10 Fire Warriors, 2 XV8 crisis suits with, what have they got? They've got twin-linked plasma rifles, a targeting array, and a black sun filter. Hammerhead, burst cannons, multi-tracker, railgun. Then in reserves, 3 stealth suits with targeting arrays with the commander, who has a plasma rifle, missile pod, multi-tracker, and he's a Chazelle. Then the another 3 stealth suits, and for the Necrons, 4 wraiths, all with whip coils, which are also in reserves. Then on battlefield they have 10 warriors with a lord who has a resorb, 10 more warriors with an overlord that has a resorb, sempiternal weave, and some other stuff. Annihilation barge with a Tesla cannon or whatever it is. And then 10 immortals led by Cryptek with a Veil of Darkness, who are all gonna vanish. They're just there for fun at the moment. And the Necrons will have first turn, so let's see what they can do. Okay, it's the end of the Necron turn 1, and they've already got 2 victory points. So let's see, the whole Necron line moved up, apart from those ones in the building, and so did the Annihilation Barge. And also these immortals teleported using the Veil of Darkness. Over here, the warriors managed to kill 1 warrior, because it's night fighting on this turn, because the Tau have the night attacker rule, just so you know the Necrons have tenacity, and because there aren't actually any physical objectives, we're saying every enemy unit is an objective, for the purposes of tenacity. So they killed 1 of them. The Annihilation Barge did nothing to them, because they got the extra cover. And the immortals here, only 8 of them could actually see the warriors, but they still managed to completely wipe them off the board. So that's 2 victory points right there, and we'll let the Tau get on with their turn. Okay, the end of Tau turn 1. Quick look at what happened. The warriors over here, Fire Warriors, moved up to the building so they could get clear shots off at the immortals. Killed a few of them. And so did the battle suits. They just fired off some plasma rifle shots, and the burst cannons from this fired as well. The railgun actually fired a submission shot which scattered that way, so it didn't hit anything at all. And 5 of these guys went down, and then 2 of them got back up straight away. So we'll see what the Necrons do in their second turn. The Necron advance continues. Okay, so tactical withdrawal here. The Veil of Darkness, Cryptek and his immortals jumped over here from outside of there, and then blasted away 7 of the Fire Warriors here. The last 3 got taken out by this Annihilation Barge, and those warriors over there just moved up 6 inches and ran another 3 inches, because there's nothing worth shooting at with their guns. The wraiths haven't come on yet, and now it's time for the Tau turn 2. Are the Necron lines starting to falter? Well, let's take a look. So what happened? All of the reserves for the Tau came on. We got the stealth suits and the crisis command here. Came on here, fired at the immortals, leaving only 5 of them with the Cryptek. Devilfish here is just hiding for the moment. Over here, the 2 crisis suits moved up, fired on the warriors, jumped back. Hammerhead fired on the Annihilation Barge, taking it out. Stealth suits over here, they got misplaced. They were going to go here and then move them over here, so they're trapped between these warriors and those warriors up there. And they've fired on the warriors, and in the end 1 of them went down and 3 got back up after shooting. So they're now hiding in the cover to get 2+ cover saves with their stealth field generators. But that gives the Tau 1 kill point for taking out the Annihilation Barge. We'll see what happens in Necron turn 3. Okay, the Necrons are slowly gaining their full advantage. The Immortals over here and the Warriors, they all moved to strike on the stealth suits that were over here, and after fire from both squads they managed to wipe them out, getting them another victory point, and that's all that they did, because the race haven't come on yet and they're just waiting in the building. So we'll see what the Tau do in their turn 3. Okay, so the Tau are slowly making their comeback. Let's see, these suits all moved up, fired on these Immortals here. They actually managed to take out, 3 Immortals and the Cryptek, and they all got back up again. Over on this side, the 2 Crisis suits fired their plasma rifles at Warriors, and then a submission shot and a load of burst cannon shots took out all the rest of them, leaving just the Overlord with 2 wounds left, and that's all that happened. So might try and push for the Linebreaker with that, I guess, and try and get slay the Warlord in the last kill point. But we'll see what the Necrons do in their turn 4 when we get the race on. Okay, that was a pretty simple Necron turn, but we'll just take a quick look at what happened. First of all, the Wraiths deep struck down. They tried to come over here, so they were outside the jungle, but they got scattered over here into it, and we found out it's a carnivorous jungle, but they're okay at the moment, so they haven't been affected by that, because they made all their armor saves. Then you might notice that the Immortals are gone. They jumped using their Veil of Darkness over here, so that they can stay out the line of fire, so they don't get wiped out. And the Overlord is trying to do a similar technique, but obviously he can't teleport, so he's just running as fast as he can. He ran 5 inches after his movement there. And that was pretty much it, so we'll see what the Tau do. Okay, so that's the end of the Tau turn 4. Just a quick wrap of what happened. Crisis Commander and 3 stealth suits fired on the race, taking out 1, reducing the second one to 1 wound. Jumped back. Devilfish moved up, then whatever the word for the fast thing it does now, sped away from the shooting phase. Then over here, the Hammerhead fired a submission shot at the race, which did nothing because they made all their saves. And the 2 Crisis suits moved up, fired on the Overlord, taking him down completely, and then he didn't get back up. So that means that the Tau are now drawing with the Necrons, and both teams have 4 victory points so far. But we'll see what the Necrons can do in their turn 5. Right, the Necrons have finished their turn 5, so let's take a quick look at what happened. And it's not been very good for them. They've been getting quite unlucky with their rolls. So for a start, the Wraiths have been killed. There were 3 of them before, I think 2 with 1 wound, and they moved over and assaulted these guys. The Overwatch killed off 2 of them straight out, leaving the last one with 1 wound. And then in the combat, obviously he inflicted a wound but didn't quite die. Now the rulebook says that when you're determining the assault result for working out who's won the combat, it's based also by the fight sub-phase, which meant that the race lost the combat by quite a bit. So they then fell back. The remaining one fell back to over here, which is fine, but then he got cut down by a sweeping advance, which is just terrible really for a Wraith, although the commander did have to lose a wound for it, but really that wasn't a great thing for the race to do at all. Over here, the Immortals just moved over and fired off some shots at those Crisis suits as well as these Warriors. They all fired at the Crisis suits and inflicted 1 wound in total. So we'll see what the Tau do in what may be their last turn. Okay, that's the end of the game. Game ended on turn 5, so let's look at what happened in the Tau last turn. Let's see, Commander separated from his squad, and then moved back so that he wouldn't get killed in case it was turn 6. These guys were over here because they moved up, fired on the warriors, so did the submission shot, took out all of them, and then they jumped back. And those 2 crisis suits fired off, killing 2 immortals that didn't get back up. Let's see, in total the Tau have 6 victory points. They've got 5 kill points. Let's see, 1 set of warriors, 2 sets of warriors, the Overlord, the Annihilation Barge, the Wraiths, that's 5. Then they also get Slay the Warlords, so they have 6 victory points. And Linebreaker as well, because his Devilfish moved up. So they have 7 victory points, whereas the Necrons have 4. That's 4 killing 1 set of Fire Warriors, 2 sets of Fire Warriors. What was the third thing that they killed? 1 set of Stealth Suits. And also they got the first kill, so that's first blood for them. So, really interesting. The Tau seem to be doing quite a lot better. Of course, it could just be the rubbish army design or the point limit, because I know that Necrons tend to be worse at lower points, or at least the armies that I come up with. So, if you have any opinions or ideas, just leave a comment below. Don't forget to like this battle report, check out my other ones, perhaps the one using the same armies, which there'll be a link up for somewhere. And don't forget to subscribe and keep watching my videos. So I'll see you guys in the next Warhammer 40k video.